Hi, I'm Yapped, and this is Yoked.
I'd like to see your mouth do something else, though.
This mouth does his dog shit.
This is Yapped, and that's Yoked. I'm Yapped. You're Yoked. You're Yapped. She's a Yap. I'm a Yoked.
You had two parents that loved you growing up.
I tricked her into marrying me.
I'm mic'd up, so anything stupid I say goes on the internet. I need attention or I'll die.
The codependent fuck.
Little brat.
So as some of you may know, my soul dog passed away 3 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And Millie, our remaining pest, has become quite a needy, bossy, entitled
bitch.
Little shit.
For both definitions of the word.
So one thing about Millie is she was a COVID dog, and on the same side of that coin, a depression dog.
Yes,
and,
I was depressed at the same time as COVID was rampant across the country.
World. Connor made her into what some would say is a spoiled little bitch.
Codependent as fuck, you may also say.
And we're still not sure if she's domesticated.
No, we're still not sure if she's actually supposed to be a pet. We're pretty confident that we have a wild animal living with us, but
fairly certain that she was a dingo that somebody caught and was like, "Oh, baby needs a home."
And now here she is.
And Connor was like, "I'll be home." And now she burrows, she nests,
she hunts for squirrels.
And we're just not sure if she's sizing us up to kill us. But
oh no, she's constantly sizing up to kill us, but she hasn't tried yet. So I think that's really all that matters.
So
on to our topic for today, folks. Welcome to another episode of Yapped and Yoked. We're talking about ambition today and the positives and negatives that comes with being a hyper ambitious individual. And more than anybody, I think this beautiful blonde in front of me
we brought on a special guest to talk about ambition.
Summer's other personality. She's a Gemini, so she has multiple.
Fact. And that's why you're so it's so easy for you to stay committed to me, because whenever you're like, oh, I should look into other bitches, it's like I just have to.
I have other bitches in one bitch.
We have other bitches at home. So when we were like,
we should stop and get other bitches. No, we have other bitches at home. Okay, sorry.
Scrolling our podcast topics, this one caught my wandering eye, because if there's one person on the planet that can talk about the demise of ambition,
yes,
it is I. Mm-hmm. So I think it'll be good for Connor to talk about how he has zero ambition, and for me to talk about how having too much makes you a shell of a human.
I mean, don't make me sound to be a fucking...
It's a joke.
What's the word? Just a fucking mooching couch potato.
What do you think you are?
Oh, no, Shrek.
Our barista called Connor Shrek the other day because I told her to, and it was so funny.
Yeah, that
she
did
was
happen.
like, "Bye, Shrek," and I was like,
I laughed pretty hard.
He was like, "Did she just call me Shrek?" I was like, "Yeah, I told her to." I tip extra for that. Anyway, so with being a ambitious person, there's obviously a lot of perks to that, because you're not complacent. There's a lot of things that are a benefit, but there's also a lot of downfall that comes with that.
Potential downfall. Because it doesn't always have to come with that.
If you have therapy. So I'm going to talk about it from the first person, and Connor's going to talk about it from the observant side of things as a spouse. And I'm sure that you have your own scenarios to talk about, because you're not an unambitious person. You just handle it differently than somebody who's traumatized. Mm-hmm. Is that fair?
I think I handle a lot of things differently than most people.
So I don't think I ever realized that my ambition was an issue until you really were like, this is going to be the downfall of you. And most specifically, when it first started rearing its ugly head, it was in the bodybuilding, and then you've seen it do that with sales, mm-hmm. and I'm sure other things that we could both think of and will think of by the end of this podcast. So do you want to kind of talk from your side, like when you first started seeing it? Because I don't think I was aware it was an issue or even like a thing until you started like observing how it affected my day to day.
I mean, frankly, I don't think it really reared its ugly head until like health issues really.
I do know that
Okay,
there was a
so,
few
like-
times when I was still long distance and we were in that prep where you were like, you need to get this under control.
So you've had different versions
For
of
sure.
negativity that's negativity induced ambition, I guess we can call it. Because like when we first started dating, you were in prep. I ended up hopping into prep, and like your ambition drove you to wake up at 5 a.m. and go to the gym before work. Drove you to literally eat your pre-workout meal on the fucking gym floor, cold, because you would do fasted cardio, eat, and then train. And your ambition drove you to be able to do 600 calories of cardio in under fucking 30 minutes, which was absolutely insane. It drove you to be amazing at your job at Urban. It wasn't until really towards the middle of that prep where then you, I wouldn't call this ambition being the negative aspect of things. It was just, I think it was more bodybuilding perception that everyone goes through.
Sure.
That was the issue, because you were just so heavily comparing yourself to everybody else that drove you insane more than anything.
Yeah.
So I don't count that quite as
Yeah.
ambition being a negative, because that's a bodybuilding thing, not just an ambition thing, in my opinion.
And that's a bodybuilding thing that I think is still like more normalized than it used to be. And we could do a whole separate episode on that. But like, there's a lot of demons that bodybuilders like silently face because we don't ever want to admit we're comparing. But I think that's where I really started to see like my mental around how I perceived the sport was unhealthy.
Yeah, and it wasn't until after that show, when things didn't pan out for USAs, when your body wasn't responding the way you wanted it to, where then it was more, I want to be fucking good at this. Why the fuck isn't my body responding? Okay, well, I'm going to continue to push the envelope to the 100th degree.
Yeah.
And then there was a downward spiral of negativity that was produced by that level of ambition, where and this came from a very uneducated place for all of us as well, between myself, you, your coaches at the time. We didn't know what adrenal fatigue was at the time. We didn't know to look for the fact that you were drinking like 1,000 milligrams of caffeine a day, and that being a detriment to sleep, being a detriment to hormones, and all these other negatives that came around and reared their ugly head.
Yeah.
We didn't know. But
Yeah.
you, being the ambitious individual you were, blissfully ignorant, which was entirely fine at the time, took your ambition and just kept going and going and going.
Yeah, and I was talking about this even just this week because I've had some dental procedures, and like I really don't have a good perception of like pain or where to draw the line on things. And I'm sure that comes from like a lot of different places, both like gymnastics, growing up in a really volatile home where like you just didn't talk about things. You just like short-term memory, sales, lots of short-term memory there. So you can just be like suffering. And I talk about this with like my coaches when I work with them, and it comes up often enough where I'm like, if I have like the worst day ever and my stress is like an 11 out of 10 on a Monday, but I check in on Wednesdays, by the time Wednesday comes around, I'm like, what stress? Like my day is fine. It's in the past. I'm good. And I like struggle with this with like training in so many places. I'm like, I just feel like I have such a quick switch to like recovery and all things that like I don't truly process how hard or demanding or whatever is for me, because I do just like disassociate almost.
Yeah.
And like it sounds funny to be like whatever, but I like really like have become a professional like putting things in a box and walking away from them, and not in every sense, but being like, okay, fresh day, fresh page, fresh whatever, like that doesn't affect me now. And that can be the downfall of somebody, because I've seen it in so many ways, in grief, in so many areas, like, oh wait, no, that was actually way more important and something we need to talk about.
Process.
Work through
Work through
anything. And by not utilizing that data and talking about it and bringing it to the forefront, like my coach needs to know that my stress was that high. My coach needs to know that my lift was that hard. My coach needs to know that something insanely traumatic happened. And that's why like I'll look like absolute shit one day and Connor will be like, do you not remember what the past 24 hours consisted
Oh my God,
of?
that's
And
exactly
I'm like,
what I was going to bring up.
but it wasn't that bad. And it's like, Summer, you just had 3 days in a row of dental procedures where they shot so much Novocaine into your mouth that you were numb for 8 hours. And I'm like,
Or better yet,
yeah, but like that shouldn't affect how I look now. And it's been 12 hours.
Or better yet, they shove the x-ray panel in your mouth 37 times.
My mouth is cut to shit if I'm talking
Yeah.
with a lisp today. Just
a little
let
bit.
me.
But no, I think that's a great point to something great to point out as well, is like, you can't let your ambition get the best of you and neglect, or not neglect, but like, yeah, neglect to reflect on the reality of things.
Yeah. And
That's
it's like,
something you've been plagued by for years.
for
honestly.
sure. And it's challenging because on one hand, it's such a great skill to be tenacious and to turn the page and to be like, what happened? Like, I mean, Shelby passed away and I was at the gym 2 hours later.
Yeah.
And like part of that was because I needed to get the fuck out of the house and not go crazy. But it's like one of those things where, and I've talked about this before, like 200 steps to somebody might be nothing. But if I wake up the next day knowing I didn't do my 200 steps and I ended the day at 9-8, like I'm going to go nuts. And so that's a really redeeming quality to have for somebody with big ambitions. Like I'm not a complacent person. I don't want to settle. I don't want to look back and be like, yeah, I mean, second place was good enough. Like
I could have done more, but it's whatever.
yeah, I'm very type A with things that matter to me, which in theory probably makes me a type C person because I can be so type B about some things. But it's one of those things where I just am really good at like putting one foot in front of the other, even when I don't fucking want to.
You're good at putting one foot in front of the other, but sometimes have this nagging difficulty of taking the other foot out of the sand.
Yeah, it's really like that's why I think I'm so type C in some situations, like combination, because
So you leave one foot stuck in quicksand,
I
the other one
can
takes a step forward.
really just not give a fuck about some things.
You end up in the splits, literally sometimes with that type of ambitious thought process.
But for me, I mean, Connor's watched it and been like, what the fuck, man? Like, I'm sure your perception of it drives you crazy from time to time, but it's like one of those things that I don't think is always like, we shit on people that have no ambition. We shit on people that are so complacent. We see all the downsides of that. We see all the positives of putting one foot in front of the other and short-term memory loss and all these things that make you great. But we don't realize that there's also like the other side of the slope that is so negative.
It doesn't have to be just a quote unquote negative other side of that coin.
No.
Something that I was talking to my client Aiden about last night, and we were talking about how awesome it's been lately with all the new clients we're bringing onto the team, the people we're working with, the fact that the clients we're working with now have goals and ambitions of their own. They're not complacent. They're excited to work. And he asked, like, have I actually had to get on a call with anybody and turn them away? And where I'm going with this is the fact that, yes, I did have to get on a call and turn somebody away in a matter of 3 minutes. I'm pretty sure he covered it on a most recent episode here. But it was just simply because that person on the other side of the phone did not have any ambition or any goal orientation to work towards. So not to say that that's a negative, but some people just don't exist with ambition whatsoever. Yeah. So like there's the neutrality of it. There's the negativity that can come from being hyper ambitious. Yeah. And then all the fruits of your labor that can be produced when you are a hyper ambitious individual. Yeah. But I think my angle on things, and I'm going to use a comment you made the other day when we were, what was it, Friday when David was here and I had to pick up his food. So it was like 11:45. We leave the gym. I have a call at 12:30. I have to turn around and go back to the gym, try to meet Sabor. That doesn't work. And then we have to take a detour to the tattoo shop to pick up David's food. I get you coffee at the same time. And you're like, don't you have a call at 12:30? I was like, yeah, it's 12:13. We'll be back in time. I'm not stressed. And you're like, you never are. But that's also how I perceive my ambition of things, where it's like I have ambitions to work towards what that whiteboard has said for 2 months now, but I'm also not going to let that ambition and that drive weigh me down in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And something I was talking about just the other day as well was this past Wednesday when we didn't go to the movie because your tooth surgery was freaking awful. I had to sit down and have a conversation in my own head and be like, you're good to chill for 4 hours. You don't have to sit there and work now that you're not at the movie. You can just chill for a few hours and take the day.
Yeah.
That doesn't weigh on me thinking, oh shit, I left a stone unturned and now my ambition's going to, or my thoughts around ambition and my goal orientation are now going to get the best of me. It's a neutral point and I take it as the day goes, but then I continue to wake up and try and put one foot in front of the other towards that ambitious goal or those ambitious goals I have for myself, for us, for the team.
It's so interesting because like certain things don't stress me out quite the same. Like I have extraordinarily lofty business goals that don't keep me up at night, but like bodybuilding does. And like in theory, my income should be more stressful than bodybuilding. But I think like for whatever reason, that one like itches my brain in a completely different way. And I was reading something the other day about like hyper independent children and the way that they grow up and like what happens in like houses with turmoil and all that. And it's like you're forced to analyze everything, like every footstep, every cabinet close, every like everything. And it just creates this like over processing feature where you start thinking about like your own thoughts. So there's days where I'm like not just thinking about the thought of like what ifs, but like then I start to think about my own perception of my thoughts, and it's like an inception, and that's where it's like full stop, like spirals. And you've seen me get into those, and there's like been times where I've like talked Connor through like, so I think this, then my brain goes to this, then it turns into this, and like I get to like 60 steps literally, and he's like, how? And I'm like, it's just how my brain goes. So that's why I think I need to be like, and I don't say this to be funny, but like looked at for OCD, because those are like true
OCD patterns.
Yeah. And it's not just like organization or like touches, like straight things. Like it's like that continue repetitive cycle of thoughts that you like literally cannot stop. And it's great for the fact that you're like, you can talk yourself in and out of anything. Like I can literally talk myself into like anything. And then it turns into like, you know, false, like, oh, no, like I've literally made myself sick being like, you probably have this, like,
false truth,
like placebos. But, you know, all in all, I would say like there are those pieces of like highly ambitious people that it's great because they will never sit still and they'll accomplish what they want. But there's also like those hurdles that I feel like I probably go through that I create for myself. Being a highly ambitious person, because I've thought about every outcome and every outcome between those outcomes. I've made outcomes that don't exist. So
I'd say it's a good point to focus on though, because everyone nowadays on social media is, I don't want to say plagued, but inundated with watching influencers and podcasts and the next content creator who's gonna speak on ambition, who did $100,000 last month, who was 21 and established a $1 billion company. All of these people operate with ambition. Or the 22-year-old who's about to make his debut at the Olympia this year and looks even better than Chris Bumstead, that Anton kid. Every single one of these people, age range like freaking 18 to 50, all ambitious. But all you see on social media from those podcasts, from the content they create, the YouTube videos, it's typically all in the direction and discussion of how their ambition made them their money, how their ambition and their drive brought them to where they are, how to learn from them and their ambitious nature and how to apply it for yourself to level up. But nobody really sits and talks about the other side of that coin, where for all of those people I just mentioned, similar to you, I'm sure they all have some form of overthinking that they get stuck with at night, or crash out loop that they sometimes experience when their ambitious drive has them going in one direction, but then life throws them a monkey wrench and pulls them into the opposite.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that people recognize that's actually the reality. Not just what you see on the small screen, not just what you see on the medium screen or the big screen. It's the reality of those ambitious people. They will have a dark side, I guess you can call it, that you don't hear about.
Yeah. I think, like, I've always joked, and I always say it as a joke, but like, oh, God knew I'd be too powerful if I could keep my head on straight. But like, actually, like, the biggest thing is that I do let it go too far sometimes. And it's like, I tell Connor, I'm like, it's not fun to live in this head. It's not fun to think like this. I know that I'm driving you nuts because I've now brought this up 64 times today. I literally have no control of it. And because I trust you and you're a safe place, like, you're who I like explode to.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want to say it's embarrassing because I'm never embarrassed to you, but it is like embarrassing in the sense that I'm like, I can't control it sometimes. And as somebody that like has these lofty goals, like sometimes it's just like, it's a constant loop. Like, I can't read, I can't scroll on the internet, I can't watch TV because like they're like, no matter what I'm absorbing, like that is actually in the forefront and that's what's actually processing. And it's like the most frustrating thing for a person that's like multifaceted and I like to do other things. And then I'm like in this like fog and daydream and like, it's crazy. But I mean, I'll use another example because not everyone can relate to like bodybuilding and like the comparison and all of that. But like in sales, did you not see me? Like, I mean, and we've joked about it, but like I would sleep with my phone in my hand on my chest.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Like, because the only thing I could focus on was my next deal, where it was coming from, what I had to do, what were the next steps, what got me further ahead, how did I beat my KPIs, how did I beat the rest of the team. Like, it was
too much.
And it was almost the end of our relationship for a while.
I was literally just going to say that. Almost the end of us.
And it was like, to put it into perspective, for every person you see on social media killing it and hitting all these views or like making all this money on TikTok Shop or whatever the comparison is you want to make, like I was making more money than this household had ever seen single-handedly. And I didn't want to spend the money. I was too depressed to get out of bed. Every time we bought tickets to an event, I ended up having too much of a panic attack, being stressed that I wouldn't be near my computer to work. We would cancel. How many tens of thousands of dollars have we pissed away on tickets because I didn't want to go?
I would say a couple grand, but five figures is a little fucking generous. A couple grand. Probably like five or six concerts.
I mean, those Matt Rife tickets
I was just gonna say that was probably the dumbest one that we didn't do.
Anyway, like there is this side that people don't see that I was fucking miserable. Yeah. And like, sure, money can buy happiness, but like, can it?
I mean,
in that moment it couldn't because there was my bank account looked prettier than you could imagine. And I was like, I was eating one meal a day, if that, one latte a day, if that. Connor would literally have to
it was consistently one latte a day. Don't worry.
Connor's still bitter. So Sushi's rent was paid for like a full year from me. But yeah, I mean, it got to a point where like I would work from 7 a.m. to 7 or 8, sometimes 9 p.m. without even like barely just about standing up. I was not working out. I was doing nothing healthy for myself. And then I would have absolute spiral panic attacks about spending $30 on something because I was like, the more money I had, the less I wanted to spend it.
And more so than anything, it was the spiral panic attacks that would happen almost every night.
Every night.
Yeah.
Every Sunday I had the scaries, having to log into WEC on Mondays. Like
Slack was like fucking torture, like literally Chinese water torture. Like every time that thing would fucking ping was like a fucking water drop just hitting your forehead, hitting my forehead at the same time too.
I was being waterboarded by Slack.
But no, let's go back to where you're talking about content creators, the money people are making, what you see on all that. I was having this conversation with Tom, Schuster, and Derek yesterday, and they were asking about AR funnels and back end of business, what Tom does, what I do, what Derek's thinking of doing. And I think so much of the fitness industry, but so much of the world on social media now is entirely fucked in the head with what's realistic for people to achieve. And when I say that, anything's realistic. If you put your mind to something, you fucking put work ethic behind it, you can do anything you want.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that coin, how many times have you seen, hundreds, I'm sure, your first 10K month as a coach? Or look at my new client, they made 50 grand last month, or they went from 50K to 100K this month. And everyone's throwing around these 5-figure, somewhat 6-figure numbers of revenue in a month. And firstly, the reality of that is that not many people are actually doing that. And similarly as well, $10,000 a month in today's economy really isn't as crazy as people think anymore. It's not getting you as far.
No,
like
5 years ago,
100K being spent in Tampa is like, yeah, you're making your rent and you're going out to dinner once a week. Like, it's nothing insane. But to the point, making that much money and above, people forget that, like, that's a really fucking comfortable life. If you're on your own making 12 to 15 grand a month, 10 to 15 grand a month, you should be pretty fucking set, pretty fucking comfortable to have a good life if you're spending your money wisely, savings and all those things. But you don't have to be the person that's like, I need to make 50 grand this month. You don't have to be the person that clicks on that ad and goes, oh, well, I did 10K last month. Well, let me go spend money on this mentorship or this funnel to make 100K this month. And I brought up the difference between Matt Wade and I.
Yeah.
And this is something I commend him for a ton. He has the ambition to build a huge business, a huge community in his fitness coaching business, and make 80, 100, eventually 200, 500K a month. He has that ambition, that trajectory, that desire. But what's wrong? There's nothing wrong to say, like, I want to be ambitious just to make 25 to 30K a month, have a really successful business, have a team that's happy to be there, that's delivered upon, that keeps me happy and balanced.
Yeah, and like, I'm sure me and you one day will do like a full episode on this, but I think that we blindly listened to mentors for so long telling us what our goals should be that we got so lost in the sauce and looked back at what we were doing and we're like, we're fucking miserable.
And then again, what are our goals? Like, our goals.
Yeah.
You know?
So I think that there's a lot of points to take away from this, but like at the end of the day, ambition and your goals belong solely to you.
Yes.
And the biggest thing that, like, I saw this meme earlier and it was like, I would never spend that on coaching, says the person that wants to pay $800 a month to impress people at stoplights. And it's like,
Yeah.
Your goals should not be reflected upon based on like who you're impressing, unless like, I don't know if that's what drives you, sure. Mm-hmm. But like, I know that when I look in the mirror, it's not because I'm excited for what people are going to see on Instagram. It's because I'm my personal best or like my whatever, I'm closer to my specific goals. And when I bought my car and I like literally was so excited because it was like the biggest purchase I ever made and I was so fucking excited. It was like, because I felt like that was like the thing that like I wanted to splurge on and I wanted to be nice. And like, I sat in it and I was like, it's not about who I'm impressing. It's about the feeling I get sitting inside it, knowing like for me, that's like an I made it moment. Like there's so many things that we can talk about in that regard, but, I'm not like buying things based on like my next Instagram photo and what like I don't even think I ever posted my car on Instagram because it wasn't about Instagram.
I think I posted it of you standing next to it because I was proud of you.
Yeah, I have the pictures, but like there's just so many things that I think in today's society, like weddings are another huge one. It's like literally just a photo op for people to be like, I pissed away all this money. Like if social media went away tomorrow, like would you still have that wedding? Probably not. Or at least you would be really more considerate about the budget on
conservative
flowers and this thing and that thing. It's crazy. And like, I don't know. I think a lot of people are just checking boxes to like try and impress others. And sometimes I'm like,
I think the best point to leave this off on is the fact that, yes, ambition and goal orientation is yours and yours alone. Look in the mirror and figure out what that means to you as an individual, and use that ambition, that drive to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
To let the past be the past, let the things you can't control be what they are, and use that ambition, that goal orientation to keep moving forward. Because if it's something that you truly want to achieve, you're going to enjoy the path that it takes to get there.
Yeah. And I think at any given time when I was chasing something and didn't enjoy the path, it wasn't because I didn't want the outcome more or less, or like I didn't want to accomplish the thing. It was that I was sucking all the fun out of it by being so focused on it. And like I tell like brand new competitors and people this all the time, but like I regret not having more fun because I was too worried about outcomes, and it like really sucked the joy out of so many things in my life, like not just bodybuilding. And, you know, I think that my best advice would be like the people you respect. And I don't mean just like, take this with a grain of salt. Like, if you don't respect your parents' lives, don't weigh heavily on their opinion, because the best advice I ever gave and was given in sales was like, oh, I'm going to go consult with my mom. I'm like, you just told me your mom's desolate and you like don't get along with her. Like, your mom shouldn't be the one giving you advice on this. If you want to go get an opinion from somebody you love and respect on if you should make this investment, please do it. But don't let it be the person that you respect least on this planet and don't want to be in their financial situation. Go talk to somebody who's a peer of yours that you're like, it's 10 steps ahead of you and you want to catch them. But like Connor would, oh God, this is so embarrassing. I'm going to admit I respect you. Connor would give me like advice and feedback and be like, you're in a bad place. This is unacceptable. This is whatever. And it's like, thank God I took that feedback and was like, you're right. I need to fix my brain. I need to go to therapy. I need to do all these things. But that was only tangible because I appreciated his perspective and admire the way his brain works. So
It's warm and there's numbers up there.
yeah, take the advice and insight of the people around you who you respect, and then whatever it is that allows you to work through that. If it needs to be therapy, if it needs to be journaling, if it needs to be self-reflection, if it needs to be
A mentor just to lean on.
a mentor, time without your phone, like so many things. But ambition is not a bad thing. It's not a plague, but it can be a slippery slope if you don't know how to manage your expectations.
And I think that's a perfect note to end on.
Aye, aye, Captain. Well, hopefully next epi I don't have a lisp.
It's kind of cute.
It's so frustrating, and I think it's because I can't, like,
I
my
know.
bite's off. I can't, like,
Keep your mouth in the right shape.
guys.
Well, like, subscribe, comment. Yapped, yoked.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Out.